Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be taking you along with me for a 24-hour type day in the life, specifically what our Saturday kind of going into Sunday looks like. I'm really excited to be doing this whole kind of 24-hour type video. I've done a lot of videos recently and they've been like homeschool with me or morning or just afternoon or just evening routines and things like that, but it has been a while since I've done a full day, and I actually had one of you guys request a full day, so I thought I would share a Saturday into Sunday with you because our Saturdays are actually one of our busiest days right now when it comes to just being home. It's the day that we're kind of catching up on everything, and as I mentioned in a past couple of videos as well, it's actually our biggest homeschool day. It is a more relaxed day, so it's not like we sit down and do school for an hour and a half and then we're done. We kind of just do it sporadically throughout the day, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. I'm not going to be showing all the different times that we're doing homeschooling, even though it will be included in this video, but I did want to give you guys a glimpse and a look at what our Saturdays going into Sundays have been like the past couple months. So some of our apples on our tree are finally ready to pick, and the ones that are kind of less than ideal for eating whole because if there's so many spots on them and you have to eat around. What I've been doing with the less than ideal apples is actually cutting them into really thin slices and making our own apple chips. We love doing this. For one, the kids love snacking on them, and it's a great way to use those apples that just otherwise would probably just be left under the tree or go to waste, so to speak. So I've been loving doing it this way. I'll slice them really thinly and then I'll put them on a parchment lined baking sheet, and then I will typically sprinkle them with cinnamon and then put them in the oven at around 225, no more than 250 for sure, but 225 for about 2.5 hours. And then if a lot of the apples are not thin enough, they will take longer, so sometimes I'll stop the batch at around 2 hours, take off the little ones that are definitely curled up and ready to come out of the oven, and then I'll let the rest kind of top off because they're thicker and they'll take longer to dehydrate. So this is one of my favorite snacks, especially since we have a ton of apples, and it's a great feeling not to have them all go to waste. So something that I've been doing before we start our homeschool morning is actually sitting down and responding to any emails or texts and things like that. And then I go and put my phone on the opposite end of the house. I plug it in, that way it's out of sight and out of mind. I've loved doing it this way only because when mama's distracted, especially when we start homeschooling, everyone can get distracted and it can, that train can very quickly derail if mama has to leave to either pick up a call or a text or anything like that. I won't typically leave it on silent in case someone is trying to get a hold of me as far as calling me, but I won't check my phone and notifications or anything like that while I'm actually schooling, just because, again, it's very easy to get distracted. So Saturday is actually one of my personal busiest days. It is, again, one of my busiest days to just do all the house cleaning, making sure everything is all set for Sunday. That way Sunday I'm not having to spend all day cleaning. We can actually relax together as a family, enjoy being together, and then start the fresh week on Monday. But on Saturday, I do typically like to sweep the whole house, make sure all the rugs are vacuumed. That's also when I will mop all the floors. I will do some deep cleaning just on the surface level type thing. So I'll wipe down some walls that need wiped down, which are typically every week. But on this particular day, we just had some leftover kind of fried rice with some hamburger and peas, something really, really simple, but is great and easy to heat up and is also put together super quickly within like 5-10 minutes. So that's what we did for lunch on this particular Saturday. Again, I love utilizing leftovers. I'm trying to get into the habit of cooking for 2 meals every dinner. That way we have enough for the lunch the next day. On Saturday is also when I will do a more deep clean of one of the bathrooms. Typically, I'll save the deep cleaning for when I do the zone cleaning, but because we have a bunch of little ones who use all the bathrooms, I just found that it works better just to do one bathroom a week when it comes to actually the deep cleaning part. And then my back porch area here is one of my most neglected areas of the house. I need to actually redo my homemaking binder and have it be one of the zones, because this is the back door area where all the muddy shoes and all the dirt comes in, and I just need to have it where I'm intentionally cleaning it, because a lot of the times if I run out of time in my day, I'll just go out and pick everything up but not have time to actually deep clean it. So I definitely need to add that onto my list of things to do. This past weekend was beautiful out, so we set the tent up in the backyard, and my husband and my 2 oldest actually went camping. But since it was so gorgeous out, we decided to just leave it up and let the kids play. They love playing in it, and I actually really enjoy hanging out in it too. A couple days prior to this, we actually did our homeschool in the tent, and I loved it. It was so much fun. Just to do something a little bit different, get the kids out into a different environment, and it made it new and exciting. And it's always incredible to me how just a simple change of atmosphere can really change everything about your homeschool morning. It makes it so fun and exciting for the kids. And we actually recently also got some tree swings that they have been loving. We have a large saucer swing, but now that they're old enough to like stand on the swings and push themselves and like swing themselves, they've been loving those, and that's been definitely a highlight of this past month. So this was around 4:30. I was able to put the baby into a little bit of an early evening nap, which did not last very long, but it was at least 20 minutes. And I got the last little bit of laundry out of the dryer. There wasn't a ton to do because I tried to get it, done throughout the week, but I was thankful that what was left to do was folded and ready for the kiddos to kind of put away when they came in. I also wanted to share that around this time, around 4:30 to 5, is also when I will start preparing what I want to make for dinner, what I would like the kiddos to do as far as an activity, or if they want to do an activity. My 2 oldest were outside and they were happy. But one thing I always try to do before I even start dinner is get an activity out, so when they are wanting something or when they are getting cranky. And I don't know if anyone else's home is like this, but typically from 5 to 6 p.m. is our cranky hour where everyone is hungry, but dinner's still being cooked and things like that. So having something like this that the kiddos can just look forward to and enjoy doing keeps them happy and excited. They're doing it right there next to me while I'm helping and also interacting with them, and we're also kind of learning together. This was such a fun kit. And I do want to actually thank Joycat for sending this to us. They reached out to me. It's been almost a month ago now, so we've had it for quite a while, but I've been kind of saving it for when we just really needed something fun. And this was just one of those days where we just needed an activity to kind of speed the time a little bit, because even though, yes, the day was accomplished, we got lots of things done, it's just sometimes it's just fun to have something to look forward to and to do together as a family. And this was today's. We ended up doing this little solar system dig. The kiddos love doing these little excavation projects, but the fact that this was astronomy related was just incredible. I loved it. I love that they loved it. They were digging through all the little planets, finding all the little gemstones, and it was such a unique and fun idea. It actually came with all the gemstones and little cards with a picture of the rock and then some information about the rock. So they learned about all kinds of different rocks and minerals. They learned more about the solar system, the planets, and it was overall just a really, really fun experience. So I do want to thank again Joycat for sending this our way. My kiddos absolutely loved it. So another couple of things I love having on hand, especially for my toddler and baby, which I guess she's almost a toddler now too, when it comes to me cooking dinner, is once I start, I like to kind of just keep it moving so we can get dinner on the table fairly quickly. I do cook mostly from scratch, so it does take a solid half an hour minimum to get it done and ready to go. So I always love having either Play-Doh on hand. I think doing homemade Play-Doh is one of the most affordable little activities you can keep on hand. And for Play-Doh, I just get cheap flour, cheap salt. I don't spend a lot of money on it because it's not edible. It's just going to be kind of thrown together for play purpose. So you can make a ton of Play-Doh for under $5. It's incredible how much you can actually make for under that price mark. And I'm going to link the recipe that I love using for Play-Doh down below. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is it's just one of my toddler's favorite activities that keeps her happy during that, like I said, that rough hour in our home where everyone's just kind of struggling with their happiness and things like that. So I will link that down below, but I love giving Play-Doh to her, as well as like a handful of cookie cutters and a little rolling pin, and she just loves it. Another thing that I enjoy doing is watercolors or painting, but not painting with a paintbrush. This is the fun thing, is sometimes I'll get pine cones or flowers and just all kinds of nature materials outside. I'll bring them in, and then she can paint using the different materials and textures, and she loves doing that. For dinner, we said a really simple, it was sweet potatoes, green beans, and then ground hamburger. I love keeping ground hamburger on hand because I can use it as a side protein dish for pretty much anything and everything. On Saturday night, I love Saturday night. I think it's because it's it's the last little bit of time that we have together as a family before a new week kind of begins. We wind it down we typically will go on a walk pretty much every other night, especially in September. September and October is definitely my favorite month. And then on this particular day, after we went for a walk, we had a campfire, and it was such a beautiful time of just reconnecting. We have really busy weeks right now, so I really look forward to those Saturday nights. When I say busy, I'm not talking about busyness in a sense of like we're out of the home a lot, even though I am probably like twice a week. And I know that does not seem like a lot to a lot of people probably, but to me it is, because those hours that I am out, even if it's only once or twice, they're normally for longer periods of time. So then the other days I am home, I feel like I'm kind of playing catch up a little bit. So it's funny how only going out a couple times a week can still feel like you're busy. Anyway, Saturday night, we love this time. My husband also works on our rental property on Saturday as well. So for having him gone 6 days a week, it really cherishes, we just really cherish the time, especially on Saturday night and then all day Sunday. We also have a family tradition where we do a Friday night movie night, or we will do a Saturday. Well, recently we've been doing campfires on Friday night instead of movies, but just because it's been beautiful out. But we do smoothies on the weekends just as something fun. The kids love them. I love experimenting with putting different things in them, and it's just one of the things I look forward to. I honestly think I look forward to it because growing up, we also did a Friday night smoothie night and a movie night with like popcorn. Like that was our dinner, was the popcorn and smoothies. And I just have so many memories of doing that. So I think that's kind of what kind of sparked this for me with raising my kiddos, is I just had so many, just honestly, beautiful memories. And I want them to look back at their childhood and remember those smoothie campfire nights and remember the conversations and kind of just get transported back into time of the feeling of just being together, of the conversations that happened, of the love that was kind of felt in that moment just from a smoothie. I know that's something so weird, but anyway, that was our Saturday night. On Sunday, I will typically try to get up and dressed and ready to go before anyone else wakes up. It just helps me be more prepared to welcome my little ones with a smile and a joyful spirit when I am already done. That way I'm not in this rush kind of mindset. On the weekends, my two oldest have been loving making pancakes and waffles. They love it. They'll do it on Saturday morning and on Sunday morning if we have time before church. But they have been getting all the ingredients out, so the flour, the baking powder, salt, eggs, vanilla, just everything, and making it themselves. And they are so incredibly proud of themselves. And they not only will mix all the batter, but they'll make them for everyone, and they are so happy and excited for doing that. While they are typically doing that on Sunday morning while breakfast is being eaten, I will typically walk away for a few minutes and get the church activity bag packed for my toddler and baby. And every morning, especially on Sunday morning, looks a little bit different as far as what I take. But in this particular morning, it was honestly just some snacks, some books, a few toys, things to keep them happy. And it's funny because I try to be pretty intentional with what I put in the church activity bag. But on this particular day, we didn't use the activity bag at all. It was a beautiful day. So after I was sitting in the service for about 15 to 20 minutes, because if I have the baby with me, that's about all I sit in. Anyway. So this was my worship on Sunday morning, and I'm calling it worship because it is a way that we can worship God, even though it might not be what we think is worshiping or what we might think is ideal. It really, really is one of the best things that we can do to worship the Lord is by being with our children. So if you're in that phase of life as well, you're doing wonderful. And I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys on that note. Thank you guys so much for being here and for watching another video. Until my next one, you have a great day and God bless.